Don't piss you the hell off. The Tulsa Football Club, the soccer club, Tulsa FC, whatever the hell their name is, those guys that kick that funny-looking ball with their feet and they keep their hands to themselves. I actually think that would be funny if armless people just played soccer. I think that would be no more hands penalties, no more throw-ins. Yeah, sorry. The Tulsa Football Club has announced that they will not play the national anthem at their games. They will not play the national anthem games. You want to know what they're going to play?
What? You told me. What was it?
It's a Woody Guthrie song. This land is your land.
Oh, hang on. I'm going to pour the Tulsa Football Club a giant cup of Eat a Dick, because that is some of the biggest bullshit I've ever. Why in the hell would you? If you people don't understand that they're trying to erase the history of this country, right there is a prime example.
Yeah, they're literally kicking us out of our own country. I get it, kicking soccer, but a bow. Yeah, I'll never be going to a game, and I don't know how much hell I can raise video wise and whatnot in Tulsa, but
this is no different than tearing statues down. And it's, I'm not going to say it's worse. That's a toss up, which is worse. I don't know if there is one.
Both of them are horrible. Both of them are absolutely horrible.
And I've also seen people comment that, why are you making a big deal out of this? It's not that big of a deal. If you don't think this kind of shit's a big deal, then you don't belong in this country.
If you let them take one thing, they're going to take it all. All of it. You let them take one thing, they're going to take it all. You people out there who don't agree with us, that's fine. I don't care if you agree with me or not. I'm not out here to report the news and make you listen to it. I'd rather you choose your own direction on how you want to feel about that. That's a much more respectable thing. But if you're okay with not playing the national anthem, this has infringed beyond taking a knee. It is beyond anything I've ever heard. I mean, what's next? All sporting events going to stop it? Really? And speaking of sporting events, let's segue right over to Darrell Wallace Jr.
Oh, let's talk about this shit.
Better known as Bubba Wallace, the half white, half black driver of the 43 car in NASCAR.
A week ago, if you didn't know who Bubba Wallace is, you do now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yep. They apparently found a noose in his garage stall at the NASCAR race in Talladega, Alabama. And before the race, all the drivers stood together while the 43 car slowly drove down pit road. Everybody else, all pit crew members, all staff workers, all the officials walked behind the car all the way down pit road in a stance of solidarity.
That seemed a bit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so now the FBI concluded its investigation that rope was there last fall, and the chances of Darrell Wallace Jr. getting assigned that garage stall was about slim to none, because those garage stalls are assigned by how you show up at the race. In other words, this hauler shows up, well, you get you get this garage stall. Next hauler shows up, you get this garage stall.
Well, and how many times have they been at Talladega in the past year or since last fall? 3?
No. Nope. This first time at Talladega since last fall.
Okay. Well, the deal is, though, did you see a picture of said noose?
The cord? Yeah. It indeed had a noose-looking thing.
Loop. It was a loop, bro.
It would be great if you were going to hang, I don't know, a lizard.
But you know how a noose, though, you can tighten and loosen.
Yeah, you can
this
pull
was
it up and
just
down.
Literally a loop with like a half hitch or a full hitch knot tied back onto itself. It wasn't fastened as a noose.
No. Oh, by the way, did we also say it was attached to the garage door?
It was the pull string for the garage door. Okay,
yeah.
Let's back up. So yesterday, the FBI says, no, it's been there since last fall. What does Mr. Wallace do, Titty? So they conclude this. What does Mr. Wallace do?
He's pretty much a Jesse Smollett on this one, and he is still vehemently stating that this was a noose. Now, it's hard to believe that he wouldn't know what an actual noose was. I think everybody on the planet has seen what a noose looks like. If you've ever looked at a book of knots or gone through the encyclopedia or dictionary of knots, there's usually some illustrations of knots, one which includes a noose.
Well, they'll be burning those goddamn books next.
Right. You know what the noose was originally made for? It wasn't made for killing. It wasn't made for hanging. It was made for pulling shit up onto ships.
It's a maritime knot.
Yeah. So, yeah, this fool Darrell Wallace is now writing this out like it's still a noose. You know, and he's the one that called for the stars and bars to be banned from NASCAR. Well, now you got all this stuff going on. And the noose thing, at first I thought, okay, I could probably see there's some redneck out there who's just really pissed off.
Yeah, and real crafty.
Yeah, but it didn't happen. But now he's going to play it off like it still did, which makes me even lose.
He said he's got his own. In his video, he said he has his own evidence. Well, then why didn't you give it to the FBI?
You know what he's got? He's got a new name.
What is it?
Colin Kaepernick Jr.
Jesse Smollett Jr., dude.
Yeah, Colin Kaepernick Smollett Jr. He's nobody to me anymore.
Somebody sent me a meme. I don't want to put their name out there because he may not want the hate, but it's one of my buddies on Instagram, and it's a picture of Bubba, and it says Bubba Wallace, the best race car driver of all time.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God.
One of the better ones I've seen, man. I was like, oh, that's a home run meme right there. Best race car driver of all time.
Just like Kaepernick, he comes from white influence. White privilege.
He had white privilege in his life.
His name is Darrell Wallace Jr. His white dad is named Darrell Wallace.
Not a real ethnic name. I mean,
his mama's name is Mrs. Wallace. Whatever. The point is, his daddy had money. He's been racing since he was 6 years old.
Yeah, that's not cheap. That's not cheap.
Are you really another? Do you really want to be another Colin Kaepernick and put this on your back? Because it didn't work out very well for him, did it?
I'll tell you that that Wallace had some white privilege growing up. How many NASCAR drivers are there that came from the quote unquote hood? Name me one. The hood.
None.
Weird.
Not one.
That's weird.
What? And probably because, well, I can't think of anything off the hand. I can't think of anybody that grew up in the hood that really turned things around. I know it does happen. Because, I mean, look at me. When I was growing up, first of all, my mom was a drug addict for the first, let's see, I grew up without a dad, so there's that.
You told stories on the old podcast. You told stories about some of this stuff growing up.
Grew up without a dad. Mom was a drug addict. We ate meat on Wednesday because that's when Mom got paid. The rest of the time we'd have like hamburger helper without the hamburger, lots of potatoes. Sometimes I would open up corn and me and my brother eat a can of corn. Now, I'm not sitting here shitting on my mom by no means. My mom is an amazing person. And I absolutely love her. I love her to death. And I'll get to my point. I love her to death. And she cleaned up, got off the drugs, met my stepdad, and my life completely got better. But my roots, don't tell me I had white privilege. I got meat on Wednesday. I ate corn out of a can.
That's not uncommon, man. I can get two people on my phone right now that'll tell you a story very similar to that.
We did everything,
and they're white. That wasn't that uncommon, dude.
Yeah, we did everything we could to survive. I put myself through college.
What'd you say, Mike Tyson?
Exactly. I went in the military because we didn't have any money. Went in the military, made some money for college. Went to college, Worked on that field for 10, 12 years. By the way, I got 2 degrees when I was in college. And then went to work with my second degree after the first one I just got tired of. But I made it out on my own. It's not that difficult. The odds are not that insurmountable. But you have to pull your shit together and do it. Now, there's my point. If you're from the hood and you're growing up in all this badness, you can pull yourself out of this. You can make something of yourself. You can become a leader and lead people down a good path. And I'm not saying everybody in the hood is on a bad path. They're not. Everybody's in the hood because they don't have money. But you see what goes on in that environment. And it's the same thing with whites. Have you ever been to the panhandle of Florida?
Well, yeah. I thought you were going to say Oklahoma. You threw me for a loop there.
Yeah, those guys, they live the stars and bars, and they don't like black people, and they grow up in
the
poverty.
Other thing. These people are acting like they're dealing with white supremacists on a daily basis. You don't know white supremacists, man. Like, those dudes are being quiet right now, and nobody's taking notice of that. And that should scare the shit out of a lot of people, because people that are actually white supremacists, there is no joke about those dudes. Mm-mm. And don't think they're not taking this in on a moment-by-moment basis. Those dudes are apt to do all kinds of violence. You people talk about how you deal with white supremacy on a daily basis. You're a goddamn liar. I've spent time around people that are white supremacists, and there is a whole different line of thinking and a whole different way of life.
Completely. Because it's not just black people.
No, if you're not white, and that means if you can't be 3/4 Scandinavian and 1/4 Cherokee Indian, you're not white to them.
Exactly.
And they think that you should end.
So
that is how white supremacists think.
Quit thinking it's all about you. White
because it ain't.
No, it
ain't.
Me. All right, let's spin this wheel again.
Did it.
Well, the wheel landed on BLM, but one thing I do want to talk about on this part is there's a dude, he's pretty much the Antichrist, right? And the Antichrist is simply that, Antichrist. This dude, I don't know what to call him other than a BLM hypester.
I want to say he's kind of high up in BLM.
May possibly, he's the lightest skinned black man you ever saw in your life. I thought he was white. Be honest.
I actually did too. I'm not gonna lie.
Which is why he's got a nickname called Talcum X. Talcum X.
I don't know who coined it, but props, man. Strong wit, strong nickname game. Whoever named this dude Talcum X, I want to shake your hand because it's funny.
Yeah, that was actually pretty funny. And if you want to call that racist or whatever,
it's funny.
It's absolutely funny because talcum meaning white. So, I mean, that is an actual racist statement towards the white people. So, there you go.
Well, his name is Sean King. If you guys don't know who we're referring to, we're talking about Sean King. He's a BLM activist. He has recently called for the destruction of Jesus Christ statues and churches due to the fact that they represent white supremacy, oppression, and racist propaganda.
Churches and Jesus.
I'd like to buy a ticket to kick him in the teeth.
Well, or secondly, so he's considered high up in the Black Lives Matter thing. Go across the tracks, and I dare you go across the tracks and take away their Jesus.
What I'm wondering about.
That's one thing about black people.
They are very devout in their faith.
When they go to church, they go to damn church. I mean, it is.
I'm glad you brought that up, man, because that was the first thing I thought about when I read that.
You know, if white people think they go to church, white people, you don't go to church. Black people go to church.
Please tell me there's some black people out there with some strong convictions against this. Like, please don't follow like a sheep on this deal. The black culture is so rooted in religion, man, and that's one of the things I admire about their culture. They're very faithful people.
But you better watch out. And I'm talking to every black man and woman out there. you better watch out.